Today I will be cooking stew, soup, but we call it soup. My mother always called it soup. And when the weather changed, she loved making a homemade pot of soup. So today I'm going to be using chicken broth, which I normally would be using beef broth, but I don't have any. But chicken broth is good. I have salt and pepper, complete seasoning, butter, garlic, and herbs. I have Sazon, a little bit of Creole seasoning, garlic powder, and onion powder. And you can use whatever noodles, but she always used spaghetti noodles. So later on, I will show you what I'm going to also, the canned goods that I'm going to also add into my pot of beef stew. And I am using, I believe it is almost 2 pounds of chuck beef. And I'll show you that in a minute when I put it in the crock pot. So what I've done with my roast, I've did little slits in it, and I've stuffed garlic down in it. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the seasonings that I showed you all earlier. And then I'm going to show you my vegetables. So the vegetables that I'm going to be using, I cut up 2 potatoes, lima beans, carrots, diced tomatoes, green beans, white corn, and white almond. So now what I'm giving, but when you do your veggies, you want to do your veggies probably like 30 minutes right before you're going to serve, because you don't want mushy veggies. And the same thing with your spaghetti noodles or whatever noodles you're going to use. You want to put all that in there probably 30 minutes before you're going to make sure that your roast is fork tender and ready for you to get ready to serve. So it's very simple. So what I'm doing now, I'm adding my chicken broth. I'll say this is going to be probably like one cup, just enough to cover it. So I'll say 1 cup. These containers I think are 2 cups. So you want that covered, and then you're going to cover it over. And like I said, until it get fork tender. So I have mine set on 4 hours. So if I need to go more, when the halfway mark, I'll check it. And if I need, when it's finally finished on the 4 hours, if I need to do more, then I'll reset it. Okay, so today I want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law Jackie for sending me these Tupperware glass bowls. Thank you so much. I need these. Sometimes you don't realize what you need until you start cooking. So thank you so much, Jackie, for sending me these. And they will be I will put a good use to them. So I'm going to let this cook. And when it's halfway, I may come back. Or when it's completely finished, I may come back. But I will come back to show you me adding my vegetables. Okay, guys. So I'm back to check the roast. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it over. And right now, I'm going to add in my potatoes and some onions. Oh, it smells so good. And this is the time that you might want to taste your broth to see if you need to add salt or any other seasoning. This would be the time to do it. And one other thing that I added as well was a can of I'll show you guys once I finish cutting up this onion. I added a can of salsa. It gives it a really good hearty flavor as well. Now my mom was an excellent cook, and she a lot of times she just used salt and pepper, and the food was absolutely amazing. So I'm going in with my potatoes. And I'm also adding a little basil. Just a little. And I also added in a can of this. It's really, really good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let my my meat is almost there, but I added, like I said, once again, I added my potatoes and my onions, and then I'm going to come back and I will be adding my canned vegetables and my spaghetti noodle. Also, what I do, I'll take the meat out, and I'll probably show you guys that, and I'll cut it up into nice pieces. By that way, in every bite of the soup, it'll be loaded with meat. So what I'm getting ready to do now, the meat is tender and the potatoes are tender as well. So I'm getting ready to add to our soup the vegetables. So here I'm adding 1 can of lima beans. And whatever vegetables you like to add in your soup or your stew, by all means. I have the diced tomatoes. And in this container, I have the corn, the hominy, the green beans, and I also have carrots. So I'm adding this right into my soup. And it may seem like a lot of broth. I'm just going to take a little bit of broth off of the top of it. Because when I add the noodles, it's going to soak a lot of this juice off, but I'm going to take a little bit off of the top. Just going to skim this right off the top. Then I'm going to add my noodles. And I've tasted the broth. It's really, really good. Because a lot of times when you use chicken broth or beef broth, even though it say low sodium, it still tastes like it has a lot of salt in it. So what I do, I normally don't use it anymore. But what you can do, you can add, like when you saw me add like a cup of the chicken broth, you can also add 1 cup of water to, because even though it says low sodium, it still has a lot of sodium in it. But normally I try not to even to use it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the noodles. Gonna let that cook, and we're gonna come back to see the final results. And I don't cut the noodles up. I leave the noodles just like they are, and I just submerge them into my broth. But if you choose to cut them up, you can. But I like my noodles just like this, and I just submerge them right down into the broth, and I put the lid on top. Okay, it's looking good, looking good. And some people add a little cornstarch to their soup, or some people add tomato paste to make it nice and hearty and thick. So that's something as well that you can add, and it won't hurt anything at all. So I'm going to put the lid back on, and I'm going to clean up my mess. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little cleaning while that cook for probably about 35 minutes to an hour. We're back, guys, with our amazing soup. I didn't have to add any cornstarch. Did not have to add any tomato paste, but I'm gonna put it in a bowl and show you the final reveal. And growing up, it was a lot of us, so we would get this was a meal a hearty meal that you enjoyed, and my mother would make those nice hot rolls or biscuits or whatever. But I'm trying to lay off of bread, so until Thanksgiving, that's my goal. And also, I'm getting ready to go walking. We walked yesterday with a couple of my nieces and my oldest sister. So today we're getting ready to walk. And surprisingly, I was very proud of myself that we walked a mile and it was wonderful. Talked, laughed, but we made it. And I hadn't walked in a good little while, you know, like a mile or anything like that. Working out. Use all fresh vegetables. They don't have to use any vegetables from the can. They can use fresh vegetables or whatever is convenient for you. But right now, I'm going to give this a taste. And I'm going to let you know what it's tasting like. I can't wait. I can't wait to dive right in, guys. And I want everything. I want a little bit of potatoes, green peppers, the corn, everything. The beef, just everything. The noodles. Ooh, it's still hot. Amazing. Nice and creamy. It is very delicious. Look at the nice beef. The broth is just so tasty and so delicious with all of these vegetables. Guys, try this recipe. Let me know what you think. Until the next time, blessings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave us a comment. Until the next time, be blessed.